When talking about range, this is maybe the last name that comes in your head. Varun Dhawan is one of the most confusing stars in modern Bollywood. On one hand, he's the guy people associate with overacting, loud comedy, and forgettable mass films. But on the other hand, he also delivered performances that make you stop and think, why doesn't he do this more often? So today, instead of asking, is Varun Dhawan a good actor or not, we are asking a more interesting question. How much range does Varun Dhawan actually have? And why does this feel so inconsistent? To answer this, we need to look at his hits, his flops, and the kind of acting that he can do versus the kind he chooses to do. Varun entered Bollywood with a massive advantage. He debuted in the year 2012, starring in Student of the Year, and was immediately positioned as a commercial hero. From the beginning, his image was clear: energetic, boyish, loud, and mass friendly. And for a while, this worked. Films like Main Tera Hero, Jurba 2, and Coolie No.1 made money. But they also did something dangerous. They locked his image into a single note performance style.
अफगानिस्तान का कैपिटल बताओ
काबुल
क्या
काबुल
म्हणजे
Exaggerated expressions, over the top comedy, and zero groundness. For many viewers, this became Varun Dhawan.
और प्यार से लोग मुझे बुलाते हैं कूली नंबर 1 कोई शक
Now, let's talk about his critically flopped films, because this is where criticism feels more justified. In these films, Varun often looks miscast or directionless. In Kalank, for example, surrounded by many actors like Madhuri Dixit and Alia Bhatt, his performance felt oddly hollow, like he's just playing the idea of a tragic hero instead of actually feeling it. In Coolie No.1, the acting is so exaggerated that it feels stuck in a different decade. And I've not watched Street Dancer 3D, and I'm not even interested in watching that.
सब है
Let's move on to his latest mistake, that was doing Baby John. Now, let's talk about his hits, where his true range peaks. Now, this is where things start getting interesting, because range and Varun Dhawan are usually not synonyms. But let's see what he has done in films like Badlapur. This is not a typical Varun Dhawan movie. It's dark, it's violent, and most importantly, it's quiet. Varun plays a man consumed by grief and revenge, and for once, he lets silence do the work. No forced comedy, no dramatic monologues, just internal rage. Then comes October, arguably his best performance. This film proves something very important. Varun understands emotional minimalism. His character barely speaks, yet you understand everything he's feeling: the confusion, the attachment, and the pain. And how can we forget Sui Dhaga? Playing a small town tailor, Varun sheds his star image completely, his body language changes, his speech and his confidence level changes. This time, it was not just accents or costumes, but behavioral transformation. So, what actually is his range? If we define his range properly, Varun Dhawan actually has three distinct modes. Number 1, commercial exaggeration, where he is loud, expressive, and massive, which worked a lot during his initial years, or maybe in some films before COVID pandemic. Second range that we can say is the ground realism, seen in movies like October, Badlapur, Sui Dhaga. These are his strong zones. Third zone, we can consider it to be a romantic zone, films like Humpty Sharma Ki Dulhaniya, where charm and sincerity matters more than the volume, more than the loudness. Well, my final words for his range would be that Varun is not a bad actor. He's just stuck between what he can do and what he's expected to do. Well, if you've watched this video so far, thank you so much for watching.